Hi guys, before I did another video, I just wanted to kind of give you a quick clip of one of my bunnies, Velvet. She's a foster. She was rescued off the streets. She currently kind of resides in my craft room, second floor of my house. Right now she's eating treats off of her Cottontail Cottage. It's a little box that she likes to sit on, and she sits there, and while I'm videoing, she begs for treats. So everybody say hi to Velvet, and we'll get started here in a minute. All right, we're back. So I've set my camera back up, and this is going to be from the Plumage collection from the Bargain Bead box. And I started doing some designing, and we're probably going to be doing some more designing here. But what I thought I would do is do a necklace with some of the chain that they had given me, but doing it with beads in between. So having like spacing of like sections of beads, and we'll get to those in a minute. Those are going to be some earrings, but having some sections of beads where it's just the beads on a head pin or eye pin, and then some chains in between. So I'm going to go ahead and start beading up these so it's going to be a lapis, these sparkly, ooh, I'm losing them, sparkly gems, the, oops, greenish gems with the, or the greenish beads with the stripes on them. I'm going to adjust that just a hair because I always bead down here. And so it's going to look like that. And I need to find my loopers, Woo! And I drop everything, which is a good thing. I know what I was doing for this. Oh, I hate it when it does that. Every now and then my looper does not cut for some reason, and it does this funkiness. I think the loopers, I've used them so many times that they need to be sharpened. So I'm just pulling this out. I'm gonna trim that off and find my round nose pliers and try to close that so that it's, there we go. All right, so yeah, as you can see, sometimes it just doesn't work. There's one. Let's see if this one works better. And I wonder if it's because these things are soft or if it's just because I'm not going through. Yeah, see, it's because they're not going through the hole, which is fine. We'll just either that or I got some bad head jump eye pins. See, it's almost like they don't want to cut. There we go. Well, let's try the smaller beads. Maybe it's just because I have too many on it. Need a longer. And I found it amazing, so I did the unboxing. You probably saw that before this one. There we go. I did the unboxing of the curated bead box, and it just amazes me just how similar these two collections were this month. So normally they're not exactly the same. They get close, like some will do pinks and some will do oranges. You know, I've had ones where they do like farm theme, and another one will do like beach theme at this, you know. But I was just quite amazed that we had both blues, and both had lapis in it this month, which, you know, I love lapis. I like blues. My favorite beading is blues and greens. Would love to know what your favorite colors are beading. I do find, however, that I do like oranges and, come on, this guy just does not want to close. Come on. Ooh. See, I think that's going to look nice. This one doesn't. So what I'm just doing here is I'm trying to round up these because these are going to be quite visible, and I didn't want that to be as bent. I may do these other ones manually, and when I say manually, not using the loopers, just doing it where I cut off and do a do the loop myself, where what I'm going to do is stick this in here, figure out how, okay, get an idea of how much I need to cut off. It's probably going to be too big, but yeah, we can cut off a little more. See, I like the loopers because they do it exact. So there's an exact, you get the exact size you need. Whereas with doing it manually, you have to, you got to take a guess as to how much wire you need left. Although that was pretty good. So, all right, so that's 3 on each side. And we'll do this side. Let's see if I did that better. Perfect. All right. So now before I do any more, I am going to cut a piece of chain, and we're going to do the, we're going to put the pendant on first. And so I'm going to actually use my bead board to measure out about an inch, maybe an inch and a half. I think that would look good. Because again, this is going on and it won't be coming off. Yeah, that works. I'm going to do a few more links just because. Ooh, they're getting dull. I think it's time for me to get another set of pliers or get these sharpened somehow. And do I have another pair of pliers or wire cutters? Trying to see here where I started to cut. Because I lost my place when I let go. Right there. All right. So let's try cutting through both sides. There we go. All right, so I'm going to quickly open up this guy. And close that, making sure I'm very tight just because I don't want the chain to come off. And then I'm going to put the pendant on. So I'm going to thread the chain through the pendant, and it's going to be a little fiddly to start because, well, there's not a whole lot to grab onto. And it doesn't really matter whether it's this facing that way or facing this way at this point because, you know, these aren't, it's not really going to matter just yet. It will later on, but not at the moment. All right. Get that open. We will tuck the chain. Oh, maybe. If I don't drop everything on the floor. I swear, I get the dropsies when I'm working with tiny beads and with chains. What I wanted to do is make sure that it wasn't twisted too much. Not that you couldn't untwist it later before you put everything together, but oh, come on. I've got plenty of space there. I can see it. I just don't know why it's not going in. There, got it. That just did not want to go for me. Come on. It's trying to fight me tonight. Just does not want to cooperate. There we go. All right, so the chain is going to look like that. I think that's going to be gorgeous. It's a little longer than I was thinking, but I mean, I think that's actually better because then I can put longer chains. I think that would work. I may do shorter chains here. And do maybe like that. And then ooh, that one flew. And then I'm going to cheat because I just want to get 4 of these cut real quick. Quick way to cheat. Put them on a head pin. And making sure they're lined up. And get off of there. And then I'm going to take a second head pin, and where they're lined up, I'm going to stick the second head pin through. And then now I've got I know where to cut, because see, I can see where the head pin's going through. Now I cut the chain that's right next to it. Making sure not to cut the chain. And then there we go. Perfectly lined up. So that's 2. I need a third one now. And I'm going to take these. And I know my fingers are in the way. Oh, and drop everything. All right, we'll just do one at a time. I was trying to do it where I didn't take them off, but I'm going to have to take the new one off just to line them up. Head pin, eye pin, doesn't matter, just something to line them up. So basically, in here, let me show you what I'm doing. I'm basically just lining them as I throw the head pin on the floor. I'm just lining them up. We'll do it on the tray here. So I'm just lining up the chains. Try to get that for you. Taking a head pin and lining them up so that they're completely even and they're not loosey-goosey. Like one's not longer than the other. So if I were to pull them tight, one's not looser than the other. And so then that'll give me the length that I need. And I can then see where I need to cut. Little trick I learned. Actually, I think I was watching somebody do this on a YouTube video. And I can't remember who, so... All right. There's... What did I do? There we go. That's 3. And I need one more. So I'm just going to do this real quick for you. Perfect. All right. So now I have my 4 chains. So now we just have to put things together. So I'm going to bring my pendant back in that I've started. And we are going to add chain to the other eyes on my eye pins. Again, making sure they're super tight. And then I'm going to add my next beading component. And I'm going to go up one side, and then I will go up the other. Oh yeah, I like that. I really like this. So see, it's going to be very, very nice when it's done. So here's a question for everyone while I'm doing this, and you can think about it. Leave me a comment in chat or in the comments. Where do you draw your inspiration from when you get beads? Like, how do you think about it? Like, what is your process? Do you put the beads together? Do you design it out on paper? Do you see what other people are doing, come up with something similar or something totally different? Get an idea from one, blend it into another. I'm really curious because I tend to look at the beads and let my intuition guide me as to what I think the beads how they would look together. We'll do that here in another video in a little bit, so because I know this one's probably going to be long with chain and everything. All right, and lastly, all right, almost done. And then we can see what this is going to look like. I will probably do a bracelet with this and a pair of earrings to match. Not exactly sure what I want to do for earrings. I may actually do like little loop earrings. Little chain loop earrings. And yes, I will show you what that means. So there's the chain with the components. And now we just need to add on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the chain onto this side. Even though I have not cut it yet, because what I want to do is figure out how much chain I actually need to go around my neck. And hang where I think it would look good. And then I'm just going to cut and then again, because I have that trick now, I can stick a eye pin in there, stick my chain, my length of chain on to the eye pin, and then kind of try to measure it out. And I know I'm doing this manually, but what I'm going to do is stick that in there, so that should be almost. It was close. And I think that's just about right. So that's perfect. Right there. So now I know I need to cut right there. And if I get this one length off, that's fine, because we're going to have a jump ring and a clasp. But I think it was perfect. All right, now just to make sure. Oh yeah, that's going to be nice. All right, so I have jump rings here already set out, and we are just going to open one, and I'm going to need some pliers because these are tiny jump rings. And we are going to set and so if you have fingernails and you want to keep your nails neat, I don't recommend opening and closing jump rings with your fingers like I do. That's why I don't have any nails, and I'm okay with that. All right, that side has a jump ring, and I'm going to take one of these bigger jump rings off of this and put it on this side for our catch. All right, and there we go. So I am going to set my design board aside here for a second, just so I can show you what we've got. And there is our, our necklace. First necklace from the Plumage collection from the July Bargain Bead Box. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.